That is hilarious.
Okay, guys.
Okay. You gotta.
We are officially live. We're ready to roll. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It is Wisdom Wednesday. We are always so excited to be here with you guys, our virtual audience. Today, we are in series 1 on episode 2, and it's Where is My Money? It is a written budget is your roadmap to success. And I don't know, this is like one of my favorite topics. Guys, my name is Letitia Grant. I am the national chair of House in the Car, and I'm joined today with.
Hi, guys. My name is Stephanie Milburn. I am your campaign manager for House in the Car, and we're so happy to have you join us for our show today. Where is money? We are also joined today by Madam Latanya Donaldson of Prime Lending.
Hello, I'm Latanya Donaldson, Multicultural Director with Prime Lending, and I'm so excited to be here. Letitia, Stephanie, you guys are so right. This is one of my favorite topics. You know, where is the money? And, you know, just talking about budgeting. But I'm always excited about our shows, right? But I'm especially excited today because of our special guest. So I'm not going to take the thunder because Stephanie, I know you're going to introduce her, but we have all agreed today is going to be the show of shows.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Oh, look, we've already started.
Right. Well, without further ado, I am so excited to announce our special guest. We have Lydia Smith, MBA, might I add. I'm one of those too. She has served in the mortgage industry for 3 decades as an underwriter, executive president, operations manager, branch manager, and loan officer. She has a master's in business, a BS in finance, and a BS in biology and chemistry. So this lady is very well educated. She owned her own mortgage company for 12 years. She was introduced to NAREB at the young age of 29 and witnessed her Memphis chapter gaining HUD approval for a $10,000 down payment assistance under past President Carol Tate and former Housing Community Development Officer Robert Lipscomb. Even now, 30 years later, what? Every lender in Shelby County, Tennessee utilizes this program to aid thousands in home ownership. Every time a loan closes under the City of Memphis Down Payment Assistance Program, NAREB Memphis is credited. Current President Shira Muhammad of NAREB Memphis was so proud of their past president accomplishments that she appointed Lydia Smith, MBA, as Public Relations Director in 2019 to keep everyone informed of the historical achievements and present accomplishments of NAREB Memphis. Lydia has been an advocate of Black home ownership for nearly 3 decades. Her passion for increasing home ownership in the Black community is stronger now than ever before. So guys, please welcome to the virtual stage, Miss Lydia Smith.
Thank you, thank you. I am glad to be here.
Yes, you know, with all of that, I'm glad to have you here on our virtual platform today. You know, and
okay, ladies.
Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, let it rip. Go ahead.
But I was gonna say, before we get into the questions and the conversation, I wanted to take everyone back and kind of give them a little more information about what is Wisdom Wednesday, just in case they missed us last week. And I always call it getting into the mind of the creator. So we're gonna shine some light on the fact that we have Wisdom Wednesday brought to you on Wednesday for 6 episodes due to our very own Latanya Donaldson. Not only do we love sharing the stage with her, we love collaborating with her. So Latanya, for those that missed us last week, can you give them a little bit of in the mind of the creator of Wisdom Wednesday and what we're planning to do today?
Well, sure, absolutely, Letitia. I mean, it is just that. It's Wisdom Wednesday. We are here to provide wisdom. You know, Letitia, you mentioned earlier, you know, one of Lydia's main focus is on, especially with everything that has happened this past year. We know that the numbers are down in Black homeownership. So I was inspired by all of that to come up with something where we can provide sound education to our listening audience. In order to purchase a home, it's easy to go purchase. Well, I say it's easy to go purchase a home. That's just one aspect, but you must be educated. And I think that each lady that I share this stage with right now, we are equipped to provide just that. It's all about giving back. I came here on the shoulders of someone else. So now I'm put in a position to where we can give it right back and give it back to our community. So that's why I was inspired. But to talk a little bit about last week, we started this out, Letitia, and we started out with kind of home buying 101. We featured our wonderful loan officer in Ohio, who actually came on and she started to talk about just the beginning process of the pre-approval process. And I think we dissected that and we kind of went into the credit. So today we're going to pick right back up, talk a little bit about credit, but show me the money. We have to have a sound budget. Okay, so hopefully today we can provide you with information where you will have nuggets to take away, to go home and create your budget. Yes, that is your homework. You're going to go home tonight and create a budget.
Come on now. It reminds me of the show Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Well, you just said it. So let's just go ahead and pick up where we left off last week. We have spent the last year asking our millennials to purchase a house, then purchase the car. Lydia, can you tell us why that order is so important and the role a car can play with the loan for home?
Absolutely, and I do not mind it at all. It's all about priorities. And the reason why you want to purchase your house before you purchase your car is because of debt ratios, and we're going to talk about that for a moment. But this is one thing I want to share first, since we saying house, then the car, because a lot of people don't know this. Millennials or non-millennials, when you go purchase a car, first of all, you always notice you have 15, 20, 25 credit inquiries on your credit report. Mm-hmm. Did you not know you had the right to ask for an authorization form from the car dealership, which limits the number of inquiries they can do? So please know, when you walk into a car dealership, ask for a credit authorization form. And if your credit is good, give them 3 attempts. That means they're going to send it to the top 3 individuals. You have to know that. If your credit is tore from the flow up, then that's another story. We have to have that on another Show Me Your Money show. But for right now, you have that right to limit the amount of credit inquiries on your credit report. Please know that. So let's talk about the house in the car.
Get your house real quickly.
You have no flex.
Lydia, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
But can you just talk a little bit, why are inquiries very important? What can that do to the credit? You did bring up, the inquiries on your credit. Can you talk to them a little bit for someone who doesn't understand?
I did. The inquiries that we're talking about, you all those credit inquiries. And unfortunately, when you get to that 700 credit score mark, when you get into 700 plus, you can have numerous inquiries and it would not affect your credit score. It would not negate your credit score. But when you get under that 700 mark, oh my gosh, the more pulls it is, the more it's going to pull down your credit score. The lower your credit score, the higher the interest rate. The higher the interest rate, the higher the monthly payment. You all have more control than you know. So limit those credit inquiries. You have to have a relationship with your money. And we're going to talk about that, because see, some of you all have a relationship with your money. And some of you all have a situationship with your money. And we're going to talk about that. All right.
I started off with a notepad.
We're going to keep it real. Let's keep
I had
it
to
real.
go to a notebook. So I hope our audience is doing the same thing, because I have to go back to credit authorization, that you can require them to give you a credit authorization, which limits the amount of pulls a dealership can do on your credit.
That's like those memes when they ask you, how old were you when you found out? And so when she said that, I'm like, I was today years old. About the credit authorization. Are you serious? I was today years old.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, let me explain something to our listening audience, because I was a VP at a bank, and of course we worked in retail with automobiles, so I can tell all my secrets. Here's the secret. The reason why a car dealership have numerous pulls on your credit report is not for you. Your worst mistake is when you go into a car dealership and they say, how much do you want your car payment to be? And foolish enough, you say $400. Well, you could have had a $400 payment for 3 years. You end up with a $400 payment for 6 years because you said $400. And they gave you exactly what you want. Car dealerships make money off a spread of an interest rate. So you could have got an interest rate of 2%, but see, you said 400. So I'm going to bump you over here, and I'm still going to get you your car payment of 400. But now versus you paying this car off in 3 or 4 years, now it's going to take you 6 years, and you think you got a deal. See, you in a situation. We're going to talk about these situations. See, that's a situationship. Come on, let's keep it real, y'all.
Look, I'm glad that you're here. It's important for the audience to understand these things. And one of the things that you brought up, you said,
yes.
DTI. So you said debt to income ratio. So what is a safe DTI?
That's right.
And when I say safe,
this is a good number to use. Oh,
go ahead.
Okay. Let's just deal with a ratio right now that'll keep it real for the audience. Let's use a ratio of 45%. 45% is going to be your maximum back-end ratio. That is a safe ratio to use. So your next question is going to be, what the heck is a debt to income ratio? Let me break it down to you. This is what it is. We determine how much house you can afford by the debt that you have. And the debt that you all think we look at is the debt on the credit report. Oh gosh, yes, we do. All day long. But guess what other debt we look at? Take a guess. I'm going to tell you because we want this show to keep moving. We look at your bank statements. We look at your bank statements to find out what you're not telling us. Because see, you told us you pay child support to 3 kids. That's what you said. Mr. Thomas said, I have child support for 3 kids. We see the garnishment for 3 children on the paycheck stub. So Mr. Thomas think he fine. I look at the bank statement. I still see 2 more $300 payments each month going out. We look at the council check. He got 2 more kids he did not disclose. Situationship. A lot of baby mama drama. I'm just assuming. Lord, please do. Okay. Anyway, the thing is, we look at those bank statements as well to see what are you not telling us. So that's other debt. There could be alimony debt on the bank statement you didn't tell us about, the child support debt, the you told the note debt, the other debt, the IRS debt. You're in a situation. We started off this conversation. See, you all have to have a relationship with your loan officer. We have to be transparent and we have to be honest. It's just like going out on the first date. Tell the truth. Because if you go out on the first date and you said you was 150 pounds and your IG picture was 150 pounds and you get there and you 250 pounds, that's a situationship. You done already messed everything up. You got to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Keep it moving.
If I learned nothing else today, I do not want to be in a situationship, Stephanie.
Girl. That'll get you every time. Situationship will cost you all your money. So
in more ways than
getting back on debt to income. Yes. Getting back to debt income ratio, you all, safe number is 45%. What do lenders look at? We take 45% of your gross income. So what's the next question? Well, what's the gross income? There's only one way to calculate your gross income, And that's the underwriter's way that every underwriter uses in the United States of America. So let me tell you a secret, and you write this down. I want y'all to have all the secrets so you all will be enriched today. This is how you calculate how much house you can afford. If you are salaried, take your annual salary, divide it by 12, and multiply by 45%. That's your total debt that you can afford. That includes the debt on the credit report and the debt on the house. Very simple. I'm gonna say it again. Take your annual income, divided by 12, multiplied by 45%. That's your total indebtedness that we're gonna allow you to be in debt, and that includes your house. Now for you hourly individuals, take a breath and write this out longhand. I want you to be as smart as the underwriter. You take your hourly rate times the number of hours you work per week times 52 weeks and divide it by 12. And I'm going to say that again because some of you all looked up and said, what the heck did she just say? I'm going to say it slow. You take your hourly rate times the number of hours you work per week times 52, that's 52 weeks in a year, divided by 12, and multiply that by 45%. That's your total indebtedness. And that number is the total debt that a lender would allow. So if you know you pay out $500 a month and you make $1,200 a month, 1,200 minus 500 is $700. You can afford a $700 house payment. You all, it is so simple. A 10-year-old can figure that out. Not saying I'm calling anybody 10. I'm just letting you know the math is so simple.
Yeah.
Any questions about the debt to income ratio? Are we good?
So that we went over the back end. Tell us, what is the front end debt to income ratio?
Well, now see, that's a little bit hard because that depends on your debt. Generally, you can use a number of 31%. But the reason why I don't use that number, because a lot of folks don't fall in that category. Once you take that 45% and subtract out the car notes, the credit cards, the furniture bill, the student loans, what you have left over, that's the amount you can actually afford. It's not the front end, the 31% that we normally use. So I didn't want to confuse the audience. I knew if they took that 45% and subtract out the debt that's on the credit report, and for some of you all sneaky people, subtract out that extra child support that's on your bank statement, that furniture bill, and that you took the note and that IRS payment too, because we're going to subtract it out. You're not going to get us. We're going to catch all that. We are detectives in this business. We the FBI of the mortgage industry. Anyway, front end ratio, general 31%, back end ratio 45. You have those two numbers, you should be just fine.
Now, Lydia, I do have a question, and that's for an individual that has debt. You kind of gave them 31% front end, 45% back end. But I had heard that your front end ratio for an individual that doesn't have any debt, very, very limited debt, your front end and your back end shouldn't look similar, or it would cause some questions when it gets to underwriting. Is that a fact?
Yes and no. I'm sorry. With the automated system in place, that government automated system came into place, LaTanya, when around 2004, 5, everybody was afraid to use it until it was okay.
Because I mean, not to tell my age, I was originating. So actually, it was probably introduced. Somewhere in the 2000 time frame, somewhere in there, 2000, the early 2000s, exactly.
Okay, the reason why I can't answer your question, Letitia, is that government automated system overrules everything. If it says it's a go, it's a go. And when we lenders like that, because it takes the risk off the lender, because the government says, as long as it meets this criteria, I'm going to buy this loan. So then the ratios go out the window, and we just use that automated system. So it's sort of hard to go ahead.
No. What I was going to add to that, to your point, Lydia, Letitia, to kind of address the question, what it could indicate is that the person may not have a lot of debt, which actually is a good thing. So, it just depends, but if those two numbers are very close in relation, then it probably indicates that the actual buyer doesn't carry a lot of debt, which there is nothing wrong with that.
at all. At all. Now, Lydia, you did briefly talk about, and we talked about it last time, but I don't think we can have too much conversation about the automated underwriting system. And oftentimes you'll hear it referred to as AU. Can you break down the automated underwriting system for our audience one last time?
If it says go, you're good. If it says stop, you got to stop. I can't get any simpler than that. Let me tell you, with that automated system, it accepts repos. It accepts things I would say, oh, heck no. This person not getting a house. And the automated system will approve that person based off its risk assessment. Mm-hmm. So everything goes for me now. I don't turn down anything unless the law clearly states a loan cannot be done. Run it on through. So that automated system is a good bet. That would get you in. The automated
system basically is a holistic view of the individual. They're not taking just credit score. They're not just taking debt. They're not just taking assets. They're taking everything and viewing it holistically before it gives you an answer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead, Lydia.
Yeah.
I never heard it called holistic before. I was still stuck on that, but yeah, I can go with that.
Talking situation shield.
I can go with that. We're gonna be fluid. Keep it going.
Okay. You know, one thing I'll say about the AUS system, and Lydia, you know what I'm talking about. See, this is why it's important, and Lydia alluded to this earlier. And the information, be truthful in what you're giving us, because that is the information that Lydia's taken and putting in that underwriting engine. So the old, hence the old term, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. So,
right.
whatever we're feeding in, it's based on what you provided us. So, Lydia's job mainly is, Lydia is an artist. She didn't know this. See, she's painting that picture. So she's framing your situationship. So we want to make sure that it's accurate, so we can get the result that we want.
Yeah. We've talked about debt to income ratio. We've talked about the items on the credit report, and your bank statement is what a lender will view for your calculating your debt to income ratio. But there's one thing that we all know as realtists. We all know that just because a lender gives you a pre-approval letter and says you can go out and shop for a $500,000 house, that doesn't necessarily mean that a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 house is good for you and your family. And that is exactly where we're going on this segment. A budget. My goodness, as an adult, I've used a budget back in the days. I did it on my calendar where I wrote out all my bills and I marked them off when I paid them. And now I do it on an Excel spreadsheet, which may still be a little old fashioned, but I don't care because it keeps me in line and I need to stay in line. If anybody know me, I can get out of line real quick. But my Excel spreadsheet keeps me in line. But Lydia, can we talk? And I don't know what your best suggestion is about how you would expect a consumer to prepare their own budget.
Oh gosh, that is, Letitia, and you have to get LaTonya in on this one. For 30 years, we've been teaching budgeting. And for 30 years, we find out we got to keep teaching it for 30 more. I don't know why is it so hard to have a budget. You got to know how much money is coming in, and then you got to know how much is coming out. I think a lot of folks know what's coming in. They have no clue to what's going out.
Absolutely.
I have no secret for a budget. Sit down, pray about it, and do it. And if you can't do it simple, do it like you teach little kids. Get some envelopes out. Once you get paid, put all your money in some envelope. This is tithes, this is grocery, this is gas, this is credit cards, this is mortgage payment. And put those money in there and then go get money orders and do what you need to do. You got to come up with a plan that works for you. And that's not what's happening, Letitia. Yeah. It's not, there's no plan. Yeah. And if you don't have a plan, what's that old saying? If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you
Yep.
plan it yet. That's
If
right,
you fail
Stephanie.
to
Then you
plan
plan it to fail. You got
Right.
to have a budget.
Mm. And you know, and Lydia, just on that same topic, and I think what a lot of people are intimidated with, well, how do I do a budget? And you said something that is paramount. Keep it simple. Write down. Now, it's going to take you being very, very real and honest. You got to have that honest conversation with yourself. Write out everything that you're spending. See, I think technology right now makes that so easy. You can look up right now on this and know exactly everything that I spend. Then leverage those notifications, like with your banking institution that says, mine says, girl, you have spent too much today. Because you put a limitation.
I got that one.
But all of that is very helpful because I always compare budgeting to losing weight. See that they have an app for that too. See, if I do not write down or document what I have eaten, I promise you I'm going to forget. When you put that, I'm going to forget I already had 1,500 calories earlier and say, you know what? That peach cobbler, I really didn't eat that much. So here's the thing about humans. We tend to forget, especially when we want something. We out of sight, out of mind. So I think that if you set up, form a habit of looking at your account every day. I don't care if you're in the negative. Look at your account every day. Lydia, you said this earlier. Have a relationship with your money. I think that's the first step. Get acquainted with what you have. Your banking account is going to tell you all of that. Be real about what you spend. See, and Letitia, you said this earlier. Just because we say, hey, you can go out and buy that $500,000 house, but is that real for you and your family? Okay, so, Lydia mentioned about the things that we don't count. Have you considered daycare? Daycare is a very huge expense. Have you considered that when you're going out to look at this house? Have you considered that you like taking at least 2 vacations a year? Budget that out. What is that costing you? Have you considered that you'd like to do your little date night on every Saturday? Put that in your everything you spend, include in your budget, and be real, because that is what's going to help you be successful in creating a very livable budget.
Yeah. I've got to ask our first-time home buyer something. And this is my question. Mm-hmm. How many of you first-time home buyers get into your car, and not a luxury car, and millennials, you get into your car to drive to a foreign place without turning on your GPS? I think that answer is no one. Home ownership, first-time home buyers, home ownership is a foreign place. Why would you make the decision to purchase a home without a roadmap to success? And that includes a budget, knowing where your money is going. If we're graduating from an apartment to a home, we were paying $1,500 in an apartment, and we know we're going to now pay $1,700. But currently, at the end of the month, we have no clue where our money went. Don't think it's going to change just because you fall in love with a house. Lydia?
I'm going to say this. Y'all see, I'm hiding my nails from you all because I'm embarrassed by them. But my car got totaled, and it's going to cost me some money. So nail care is not in my budget. So I had to make a decision. Do I still get the nail care, or do I put the extra money down on the car? So that's why you all see my jacked up nails. So ladies have a habit, what I see, Letitia, they don't put nail care in their budget, and they don't put hair in their budget. And don't y'all be looking at mine. Mine is $5.99 a bag, 5 bags. I'm on out of $30. Some of you all spend $600 on hair. Now, I don't understand that. I told you we're going to keep it real. Ladies, you got to put your hair care in your budget. And some of you all, your hair costs more than your rent. I don't even understand that. I see your bank statement.
Yeah.
I see your bank statement, and then you want to come in and you don't have money. Then you ask for down payment assistance. You got $600 weave, nails. You can grace the cover of Essence with your nails, and your purse costs more than all my suitcases put together. I just don't figure it out. You have a situationship with your money. You don't have a relationship. You done kick your money to the curb. And y'all ladies, any brothers on this call, how's everybody doing? Okay. Brothers, ladies, let me tell you this. I don't care how good you look. A brother gonna size you up and say, she too expensive for me. She'll put me in bankruptcy. That's why some of you are not married. You look good, but you're too expensive.
Okay, that's gonna be the we're gonna have to develop a new topic for that one.
Look, I had no intention on crying today on this show, but I am crying, laughing right there. I can't even hold it. Lydia just came on here and read me.
Well, one thing that LaTanya mentioned was, she talked about different apps. There's so many apps out there for you guys to write down your budget, to take notes. But I'd be remiss if I did not mention that House in the Car has an interactive budget online. So guys, there's so many different ways for you to stay on track, record everything, and like you said, be honest and be truthful with all of your purchases, and you can track them. So you can go to houseinthecar.com from your cell phone, you can go from your laptop, you can go from any device. And not only that, there's other apps out there, so it's very easy for you to keep track and stay on a budget.
Absolutely. I mean, because Stephanie, I had a friend, true story, they had a Starbucks habit. Okay. When we finally looked at that, do you know this person was spending about $150 a month at Starbucks? At Starbucks, think about that.
I believe
$150.
Oh, I believe it too. That's one of my best friends. She has a very bad Starbucks habit, and we laugh about that all the time.
That's right. But see, if you are paying $5, each time you go in there, it doesn't seem like $150. So see, that's why it's so important to document it, because you will, what it will do for you, it's going to empower you, because you're going to see areas where you can have an immediate impact and immediately put like $300 back in your budget a month.
Yeah. We've had that budget conversation a couple times in a different way on the show, but it doesn't matter how many times we talk about it, it's still necessary to continue talking about it, like Lydia said. Teaching financial literacy is something that's ongoing. You just can't stop and say, oh, well, I talked about that last month. But some of the top areas of spending would be subscriptions, and this is what we were told by Freddie Mac, subscriptions. And these are those $1.99, $5.99s, $9.99s, the things that are insignificant, one here or there, but when it turns into multiples, they become one of the higher spending items. Another area that I have found to be extremely and extraordinarily expensive is eating out. When you have a family, eating out is exactly, and people seem to think, oh, it's just me. It's cheaper for me to eat out than it is for me to eat in. And if you want to continue to tell yourself that, be my guest, but it's not a fact. Unless you're going to eat like a bird and eat leftovers off of that one meal for several meals. Another thing that we talked about as well was student loans, of course. And my biggest, and I'm going to say it, Stephanie. I'm just going to say it. I taught 6th grade math. But let me tell you guys, this is my hang up with student loans. You go to school and you obtain $100,000 in student loans to have a job that's $40,000. Something needs to be done about our system. You do not need to acquire $100,000 in student loans. You need to look at it and examine it. What is my occupation going to be? And I really honestly feel like that falls in the hands of the counselors, so that the individuals can be counseled. Okay, if you're going to obtain this amount of student loans, if you're going to go to a private university, these are some of the occupations that you can have in effort to be able to pay that money back. To have that amount of money in student loans, and to teach as an educator. I mean, our salary is like $45,000-$50,000 a year. That's not enough. That's not enough to pay $100,000 worth of student loan debt. So when we look at some of the items that's debt, and even unfortunately in many of our communities, we can talk about those payday loans. The interest alone on those payday loans is enough to just make you run. When you see those items on an individual's budget, or like Lydia said, you're not being honest with yourself and you don't put it on your budget, you're really cheating and shortchanging yourself. Mm-hmm. So Lydia, and I know what the answer to this question is going to be, but I just want everyone to hear this. Lydia, what should go on your budget?
Everything.
There you go.
I'm serious.
Everything
mm-hmm. should be on your budget. Everything.
Mm-hmm. If you
and I have to say that, Letitia, because a lot of our millennials, mm-hmm, absolutely, a lot of our younger generation have an overdraft account. The bank gives you an overdraft account, $2,000, $3,000, and a lot of younger people live in that overdraft. If you got a $3,000 overdraft limit and you're living in that overdraft limit, we as a lender already know you can file for bankruptcy just like that. That means you're $3,000 in the hole every month. You're living above your means.
Lydia,
there's a lot of things a bank statement would tell you.
I'm an exennial, so I need you to take me backwards. I need you to go back to this. There's a special account. See, I'm not a millennial. I need to understand. There's a special account that's
when you go to your bank. Yes, Letitia, when you go to your bank and your credit is good, because when you open up a bank account, they're going to pull your credit report. They're going to offer you a line of credit, an overdraft protection account, and they're going to say, oh, if ever you pay a bill and you don't have the money in there, the overdraft will pay it. Well, what happens is younger people get so comfortable with that overdraft, they end up living in the overdraft every month. If you got a $2,500 overdraft limit, and then every month you owe the bank $2,500, you are in the hole every month. Your credit may be excellent. You may have a good job, but to a lender without that overdraft limit, you in the hole. You will be filing bankruptcy. We look at those things. It is a red flag. It's good to have it, but don't use it. It's just like car insurance. It's good to have it, but don't use it unless you have to.
I didn't even know that there was such a thing.
On me now.
Well, because I didn't know there was such a thing. I was about to Google it. Like, I've never heard of an overdraft account. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Girl, what state do you live in? I'm coming by to do a drive-by. Don't be telling folks stuff like that. I'm doing a drive-by in your state. I'm from Memphis.
Well, Lydia, you've worked in banking.
I know how to get to Texas.
I've worked in banking before too, so I've heard of it. So sometimes when you don't work in banking, you may not understand, or you may not ever have heard of an overdraft account. But I do get it. I've worked at Bank of America for 8 years, and it's definitely a thing. Letitia's like, I never heard of it.
I'm sitting here like, let me Google this. Like, is it a free line of credit? Like, no interest?
Tisha, let me give you a little credit, and don't nobody get offended. Okay. But when you open your bank account, they normally give it to you at that time because your credit is good. So if they don't extend that to you, you may need to go back and look at your credit report at the time you open that bank account. I'm just saying.
But I want to go back to subscriptions. Letitia, you mentioned subscriptions because this is huge. And let me be more specific. subscriptions that you take out unknowingly sometimes with some of the apps that you download, because that has even happened to me. And so now you see these charges hitting. And let me just say, like LinkedIn, you know, depending on what you choose to do with LinkedIn, that could cost you like $59 a month. So Letitia, that is a great point. Please be careful when you're downloading apps. Make sure that you understand what cost is associated, because that charge, to Lydia's point, we're going to see that in your account because you probably have your debit card attached to your Apple ID. So here's another payment.
Right. Oh, that's crazy. I had no clue. Look, here I am. I'm learning all kind of stuff. And Lydia, just FYI, my account was opened in 1986.
Yeah, they had overdraft back then. Don't play. It was they had
back then they would charge you.
They just didn't extend it.
They didn't have any credit. They just didn't have any credit.
Stephanie. They didn't like what they saw, so they didn't extend it to her. That's all. Don't worry. Go back to them now, Letitia. They'll give it to you, baby.
Stephanie, do we have any questions from our Facebook audience? I'm sure
we don't. Well, we don't have any questions, but they are very engaged. They're really loving Lydia right now. Applause to Miss Lydia. Miss Lydia is dropping truth bombs. Someone said Serena Williams is a billionaire, and have you seen her nails? Basically, they saying she don't get her nails done. So they said we can do this. Lydia, I've missed you. This is great. Lydia, you are indeed a trusted advisor and a subject matter industry expert. Your candid response to the importance of financial literacy in our community is impactful. You're amazing. So kudos to you, Lydia. Yeah, sounds like our audience likes to see you.
That's right.
Great. We are here. Look, we are here to keep everybody informed and tell all the secrets so everybody can be successful.
Absolutely.
Can I share?
That's right.
Share a secret?
We cannot keep what we don't give back.
Let me share something else. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Let me share something that someone shared with me years ago on my road to wealth. There are two types of debts you're going to have in your life. Debt that make you poor and debt that make you rich. And the only debt that make you rich is real estate. House, then the car. Your house is the best investment you're going to make. You start off with one, then you start buying house number 2, 3, and 4. Two types of debt in the world. One that makes you money, that makes you rich, and one that makes you poor. Choose the one that makes you rich. Invest in real estate. Real estate. Real estate.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I have a question. I have a question for Lydia. For those that were just introduced to the trusted loan advisor, Miss Lydia Smith, tell our audience where they can reach you, Lydia, and what area you're in, and the wonderful company.
I'm in Memphis.
That you represent.
You all can tell we work for the same company. Look, she already texted me and told me what to say. I'm just playing. Listen, we are with Prime Lending, you all. Prime Lending. We are here to help you. I'm out of Memphis, Tennessee. You have any questions, call me at 901-691-2409 or text me, and I will do my best to get you some answers. And if you want to email me, it's Lydia, lydia.smith@primelending.com. We in every state. We participate in every down payment assistance program. We participate in everything. We just like Campbell soup. It's in there. What you want, we got it. It's in there. We the Campbell soup of the That's who we are, the Campbell soup of the mortgage industry.
And you know, guys, she's absolutely right. We partnered with Prime Lending to host our renovation class here in Houston, and that was phenomenal on last Wednesday. We had a great time, and John Christoph here in Houston was online kind of going over the renovation product. So I know when she says that it's in there, it's in there. There's nothing that I could ever think of, and when I pick up the phone and call Prime, that they don't know about. So Lydia, I definitely think that you are in the right place with your candid response, because that's important. I think that what many people are missing from their trusted advisor is honesty. And if you're working with someone that can't be honest with you about your financial situation, you're in a situationship again, you know, and I'm going to be using that all week because I don't want to be in a situation.
It's top of mind. I will definitely be using that. I can't wait to use it with my teenage daughter. Oh, you got a situationship.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Don't be like my mom and my aunt. I told the one other week, I told them that they were dry snitching. Oh my goodness. They were using that word.
What's that?
That's another show.
Yeah, put in the chat box. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh my God. I'm late, y'all. I'm late. I'm probably the oldest one on this call, and I'm late.
So, you know, Letitia, I tell you, you talk about some nuggets for Wednesday wisdom. I think we got them today from Miss Lydia. She taught us about credit authorizations in our budgets. Keep it simple, simplicity, and include everything. Include everything. And my biggest takeaway, get your relationship right with your money, because if you don't, you are in a situationship. In other words, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You are the side chick with your money.
Ooh.
Whoa, say it, girl. That's it. And don't nobody want to be the side chick. I don't believe she went there. I'm in full agreement. Thank you for saying that.
I'm looking for my pearls.
Yes, she right, y'all.
Look, on that note,
that's right. Don't be casting your pearls before swine. That's in the Bible.
Okay. Look, Latonya has just dropped the mic on that one, guys. We are officially signing off because there is nothing to be said behind that.
Right. That's how we're gonna end this show.
Well, Letitia, tell them a little bit about what's coming next week.
Oh man, what is coming next week? We're gonna be on episode 3. In episode 3, actually, it's not next week because that's Thanksgiving. It's the weekend.
Right.
Yes, I know. It's so crazy.
We will be back in December.
These holidays are just, you know, they're wonderful, but it's just flowing. But next week, it is going to be, let's call it Home Buying 101. So we're going to call it Home Buying 101, and we're going to go over all the things that you need to know about the home buying process. For the first 2 episodes, of course, we brought in the lender because that's going to be one of the most important places to start. But don't be fearful if you picked up the phone and you called your realtors first. Continue the conversation. The realtors is going to partner you with the Prime Lending representative. They're going to get your loan approved. And then we're going to talk about the entire process of home buying and all of those things that you need to know. And we're going to have a realtist on with Miss Kiana Jones. Miss Kiana Jones is one of our hosts on our Tuesday events. So she's going to be on with us. So we're super excited about that. Guys, again, my name is Letitia Grant. I am your house, then the card chair. I thank you guys for being here with us on Wisdom Wednesday. And this Wisdom Wednesday has dropped nugget after nugget after nugget.
And happy Thanksgiving to each and every person.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving.
And my sincere prayer is that you have a spirit of gratitude and enjoy your families.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining our show. And we do have one more show for our Tuesday series that's still going. Next week, we will have one more Millennial Talk Tuesday. So, guys, tune into that. And we are taking a break for December. We're taking a break for our hosts to spend time with their families. And we will be back definitely in 2021.
Lydia, you want to close us out?
Oh, guys. It has been a blast. I enjoyed it. Invite me back. I look forward to collaborating with you all again. And we're gonna bring forth some more good nuggets about situationship. relationships with the money.
Oh yeah, Lydia, I'm already thinking about some 2021 shows that we want to have you on.
I'll be there. I will, with bells on.
Thank you guys. You guys have a great one.
All right, thank you.
Bye.